content right now.
What happened?
They're gonna lock us down at 5.
Oh, they are?
Yep, because of that incident.
Okay, so do you guys just want to pre-record something and I play it?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Pre-record and gonna play it.
Okay, all right, it's recording.
Yeah, so shout out to Plae.
You already know the vibe. Listen, y'all, we got Luce Cannon and Bricc Baby right in jail yard. All right, Big U RICO case, and we got Big U prison aura. Is it scary? It's crazy, y'all. We got a lot to uncover. We breaking down who is Big U, and we also going to be breaking down this Luce Cannon audio. So let's get back to it. Everybody drop likes on the way and salute to everybody.
To my wife, fans, son, everybody that supported me, my IBM crew, and
hello. How do I do it?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. Okay, all right, it's recording.
Yeah, so shout out to Flacco and Remo jumping on the show. Wifey gonna go crazy. She gonna still going crazy. She holding us down. She holding niggas for that. My name stay alive. Bricc stay alive. We out here. We in here cooling it. We just had a couple of incidents. And at the end of the day, is we maintaining and head up and we program it. But at the end of the day, is I can't wait to come home to my wife, fans, son, everybody that supported me, my IBM crew, and
everybody drop a like on the way in, y'all.
So
is
tell
this a
me
play?
What happened on the yard today? Or not today, excuse me, yesterday or the day before.
So basically at court, right? So at court, what happened at court is like, they was asking me a couple of names and stuff like that. So I'm right up on it, dude. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom. Take that with you. Drop them or whatever, like call them a sweetheart and everything. Police and stuff like that. Did a report on it, took me to the hole, and then they they brought two of the dudes back to the same unit. And it was just a problem after that. After the problem came, you got to take care of business. But the captain is overruling like lieutenant, and he was like, man, y'all got to stay locked in. So it's not like we listening, but I am baby. Start something, I'm gonna finish it. That's how it goes.
So you're telling me when you went back from being in the hole the first time, as soon as you arrived, they started it off, popped off again at you guys?
Not too keen in taking losses.
Okay. And who was involved in the fight?
Yeah. All of them, but I can't say it over the phone. Great. Say some stuff to the fans. Hey, you can hear me? Hey, man, the trick reporting live south, man.
Salute, Slim.
Yeah,
you already know.
They trying to put a J line, man. I mean, we ain't in too deep with no J Reed, man. We right here turned up, beat up, man. It ain't no, man. You know what I mean? Hey, they say if you fuck around and start stressing, you gonna miss your blessing, man. So we in here cooling, man. This is Bricc, man. Shout out Sid, shout out Luce, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. They trying to put a J line, man. I mean, we ain't in too deep with no J Reed, man. We right here turned up, beat up, man. It ain't no, man. You know what I mean? Hey, they say if you fuck around and start stressing, you gonna miss your blessing, man. So we in here cooling, man. This is Bricc, man. Shout out Sid, shout out Luce, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. We got gang with us right here. You already know. We got Blue Stain. You already know. Staying on the line. You already know. We scored up, man. Free scores, man. Hold up. Oh.
Well, car right there too.
Y'all sound like y'all having a good old time in there.
Oh yeah, we got gangs.
Whoa.
Okay. Honey, I need you to think about the families you have out here and forget about the homies that's in there. Okay. I love you and all that, but I need you to stay focused. Okay. It's not about all that street politics and all that stuff. I need you, baby. You're not listening. You're still talking.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I need you to stop with the hothead stuff. I understand if people start something, you gotta deal with it, but try to avoid it. Okay, you got your bail hearing coming up on Wednesday. We don't need none of this to be hanging over our head that can affect you coming out. Okay. I need you to stay focused here. Okay. I love you and I want the best for you. So I need you to stop getting into trouble. I know if trouble comes your way, you're going to have to handle it, but try to avoid it. Okay. Okay. I love you. Please. You have me so worried. And now they locking y'all down at 5 because of the same nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So
Is
y'all
this a
getting
play,
treated-
y'all?
It's like
Is
it's
this
not
a
just
lie?
one time.
From a federal prison.
It's not just this one incident. You got now you have to deal with it where y'all getting locked down again today.
I know. It's crazy. That's why I was trying to say, I was like, fuck it, we're gonna have to call in to do the content because we still want to get our voices out to everybody, to the masses. And right now you got the key. You got the torch.
I hear you, baby. I hear you and all that. I would rather just stay home and take care of this baby. But listen, y'all don't be over there starting no nonsense. Okay, you and Bricc sound like y'all having a good old time up in there. Okay, I need you home. So
hell no, we just have to make what's best of the life right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not having a good time. Of course, we want to be.
I'm done with that video. I'm sorry. I'm done with that. Done. That shit is a play, bro. Just a play, bro. That's when you do too many plays. I'm thinking this shit a play. That's just me personally. I know y'all done seen this video. I done seen part of it earlier today too. I just put it on here just to put it on here. And I'm moving forward. Simple. Don't worry about it. Somebody in the next might want to see it here. And that's all that is, bro. That's all it is. But I'm moving forward for a fact because I want to get into Big U. That's where I'm going with this. And I want to get into, man, who Big U is, man. We getting into the psyche of Big U, man. Because I want to know. Because some people saying Big U sent the hit. Yo, chill. I've been calm. I ain't getting too much. I heard Big. Allegedly, when Big U's in jail, allegedly, his name ain't Big U. His name Big Yusufa. You know, Lucifer. His name Big Yusufa. Big Use. So you don't want to see Big Yusufa. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. So I do want to go into some of Big U mindset. I'm going into Big U, man. To hell with these people. Nying. That's called when I end the screen share. Nying. Link in the chat if y'all got something to say about any of these people. That's it. Y'all come up and say what you got to say and get off. That's it. That's all. But look, anyway, at the end of the day, facts. You can come and speak what you want to speak about any of these people and then get it. That's it. But because it ain't just about my thought on these situations. It's about y'all too. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And everybody thought matter, man. Not just some people that's creating content. Because at the end of the day, a lot of y'all be writing them chats, making content creators, giving them all the thoughts, all of that, bro. Y'all are deep and y'all dope. So, real talk. So, you already know, man, that's how I do it on the late night streams. You already know how we do it, man. Speech is speech. We gonna let the people speak they speech. I know I've been telling y'all for months, y'all, I'm gonna let the people speak they speech. So I'll just be dropping the links in there so y'all get more familiar. That I'll let y'all come and speak your minds and shit. You know what I mean? So salute to all of y'all, man. That's what it is, man. Salute to all of y'all for helping me to get this far. And I appreciate y'all. Let's get into this, though. This is Big U talking about, let's think about how Big U deal when he in jail. Okay? What they got to fear when they dealing with this man right here on your screen, bro. This man in the building, the same building as you in? I told y'all, son, his name is not Eugene Henley in the building. His name ain't Draws, Hannibal, and none of that. The man name is Big Yusufa. They don't call him Lucifer. They call him Yusufa. They drop the L's for Big U. Nigga name is Big Yusufa, son. Don't get caught up with Big Use. Trust me. It's not what you used to. So look, we're going to get into Big Yusuf.
One day, I see Goofy from Matrix Gangster.
Let's see how you think when he in jail.
Goofy is from
These niggas should be scared of this nigga.
All I remember him is from Horseman. We all went to Horseman together. And I'm talking to him, and he tell me where he from. And it was my first time really hearing somebody say that. I get off on him. And when I get off on him, we square up, and the police make us go lock.
This is going to be one of the only times I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop all through Big U talking. But, bro, that sounds consistent with the paperwork. That man talking about breaking jaws, all type of shit. Look, I just get off on him. Yo, Bricc, Luce, don't make Big Yusufa see you in that building, son. I'm telling you, the man 6'5" Don't make the man Yusufa see you in the building, son. I'm telling you. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, bro.
Yeah, so they like, then we go to, they called me to go to visit. When we go to visit, they put me on the chain with Raton from Matrix. And we going up the escalator. The homie was just talking about the other day. I had kicked him. I leaned down and
link in the chat if y'all want to come up and say a quick thing and talk about Big U or Whack or Rico. Any of this Rico, man. Y'all can come up and say a couple of words and shit.
So when we get back to the module, they like calling all the homies to come down to the shower. Saying they're gonna put.
OG Rocket.
Now let's get that other half of the story, right?
The Rocket. Look at the little guy.
That's the little guy you was talking about.
Yeah.
So Rocket, Big U was telling us about when he met you. All that CCO, go work out, clean up shit, right?
I did all that. Yes, you did.
And he said your story different from his. So that's why I wanted you to surprise him. Let's hear your side of the story of when you met Big U in 4800.
When I first saw you in 4800, you was holding somebody's head like this, and you was pounding on him.
That was 3 days later, though.
But look, you was pounding on him. I mean, dude couldn't even fight back, didn't want to fight back. He just gave in. And I said, "What you doing, dude? What the fuck you doing?" I mean, it's like having sex with a girl.
Was you coming back from with you was coming back from with who was Sam? Yeah, but you already had been there. You already had made them work out. Then they moved you to the other side. Where you had all this coming through
but
crazy.
We talking about when I met you though.
That was the day. That was in there.
Okay.
When they all came through. Let me tell you, these niggas, when this nigga came to 4800, all them niggas who was running.
First of all, I hear a lot about 4800, 4800, and 44. Yo, bro. But yo, bro, didn't you hear what Rockhead said? He said, "What if I met you? You had a guy like this on the wall in jail, you know. You had a guy like this, and you was just beating him. And he just was that's just stuck. The man didn't even want to defend himself, bro. Let's get into the psyche of Big Yusufa when he in prison. The man named Big Yusufa when he behind them walls. Don't play with him. Don't play with him. Drop your likes. Salute to everybody. Welcome to everybody that's new. I'm Uda. I'm on Go. You on Go, right? We on Go together, man. So salute to everybody. Vic 22 in the building. Sexy Slim in the building. Splash in the building. Y'all get in the comments. The link is in the chat for y'all that just want to come up and speak a couple of words and tell me what y'all thinking about this Big U. Tell me Loose Cannon, the Bricc Baby, the content play. Get in the poll. Do y'all think that this is a content play or not? And then what's crazy is you do so much content plays. Then one day you may be serious. Now it's like what? The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Now it's one of them deals that people don't believe you when you're probably telling the truth one day because you've done so much content plays. And that's where content plays goes wrong. So salute to everybody. Like I said, again, 80 Mola in the building. Like I said, late nights, I'm trying to lift y'all voices as well, man. Y'all help me to lift. And like I said, I am going to be just having the link in the chat more frequently for y'all so that y'all can come up and speak y'all mind because y'all helped me to get to this position right here. And I salute to y'all. And all I could do is lift y'all back up how y'all helped me to lift up. Point blank, period. So salute to everybody for that. Let's get back to the content.
4800, all changed.
Right.
All the niggas should I say their names? When this nigga, and I didn't know who he was. Like I said, I didn't know like who he meant to the Crip car. I'm a young nigga. I'm only 18. And then when he got in there, he too old to remember. He made all them niggas start working out.
He too old to remember?
Yeah, he made all them niggas start working out. He had them niggas in the back doing cadence. Because it was the first time I heard a nigga say machine in motion. I hadn't even heard that before. I never heard that till I heard you, till you had them doing it in the day. I was like, George, you down there? I said, nah, but I'm watching these niggas, you know what I'm saying? And you had them niggas working out. You was talking about cleaning up. You was like, and you was telling them about how when you get to the pen, you don't have to be clean. You don't have to do this. You can't be spitting in the sink. He was the first person I heard say all that shit.
Rockhead, what made you feel like you was in charge?
Nigga, I'm Joe Rockhead, nigga. I didn't ask for it, but I'm Joe Rockhead.
So you just walked in and just took over?
I'm Joe Rockhead.
Okay, give me a definition
what more
of Joe
do you
Rockhead.
want, man? What?
I need to feel the definition.
No, my mama, they gave
You walked into a lion's den.
Huh?
And there was plenty soldiers up in there. Was plenty gladiators. There was plenty people
what was a lion's den?
4,800.
No, not to me.
No, he ain't lying.
Hey, so not to me.
So he ain't exaggerating. Them niggas bow down
not like that. I see. Think about it.
Like
he keeps saying they bow down.
They did. I'm telling you.
But,
he want to be modest. I swear to God, on my life. On my life.
I like Big U's version.
When this nigga walked in, I mean, I had already been there. I've been there for like about a week, and they couldn't move us in no cell.
What happened in the holding tank when you had like 14 people from eight different neighborhoods, and they all wanted to beat you up?
Shit, that was every time I went to.
No, but we was all shackled down. When I walked in, they was all talking about getting you. Said I fight 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah, that was.
And you didn't believe it.
That was every time I went to court.
I know, but it was new to me.
Yeah, every time I went to court,
everybody was new to me. But you was kind of shocked when I spoke up. Like hell no.
Because I'm like, soon as I get these chains on, we all finna get out.
And I said, no,
he
1 or 2 at a time. That's what he gonna get.
Yeah.
I said, ain't nobody else gonna jump in.
Give me 3 of them at a time, and
I said, what you want? He said, I want 3. I'm like, that's what made me gravitate.
You had it.
Yo, Luce and Bricc, man. Luce and Bricc, bro. You hear what Big Yusufa said? Yo, be calling them Big Yusufa for the night, man. His name ain't no Big U right now, man. We dropped the L off, and he be calling him Yusufa when he in that building. Straight. Nigga name ain't even Eugene. Nigga name Jason Voorhees or something. See that? When he in that building. Look, the nigga said Rockhead, OG Rockhead right there. Joe Rocky said, yo, how much of these niggas you want, bro? He said, look, give me 2 or 3 of these niggas. I'm gonna take 2 or 3 of these niggas at a time, bro. You hear what I'm saying to you, bro? If he run into Luce, if he run into Bricc Baby, and Bricc Baby, you better not be high in there, bro. You better not be high, bro. You better not be in there smoking, man. Better not be on them K2s, bro. I'm telling you, man. Better stay focused, bro. On neighborhood, you better stay focused. Because Big Yusufa's out there, brother. And he ain't jacking y'all. From his last video before he turned himself in, he ain't jacking y'all. I said he ain't jacking y'all. Straight. Y'all drop a like, share the video. Let's get back to the content.
Number, because you told me 2.
2. I said 2. No, he said 2, 3, and 4. No, he said he wanted to fight. He'd fight 3 or 4 at a time. Yeah. And then I said, no. When I spoke, I said, I ain't gonna jump on homeboy. I said, how many you want to fight? He said, I want 2. That I remember. I want 2. And I'm like, and I was impressed because he was young, he was skinny. He ain't skinny no more.
Damn, bro.
Hey, and so when he put his demo down, what was you thinking then?
I was impressed. I was so fucking impressed. I actually liked this motherfucker. I didn't like a lot of people.
Even though it was Crip on Crip violence, you still liked it, huh?
I liked it him. I didn't like the Crip on Crip violence. I despise it even now today. But I liked how he represented himself. He didn't go at them. They came at him.
Was it reminiscent of CCO? What you saw in CCO? And then you came to 4800? Did he remind you of that?
It had nothing to do with at that time. I dismantled CCO.
Don't look at it.
I dismantled CCO at that time.
Yeah, because Mouse came down right after you, right?
No, they came before me and they left. Him, Big Ant, and Sue, they came to the county jail when I dismantled CCO on the shoe yard.
They came back.
Then they got off the bus. I got on the bus. And that's when they said Rockhead couldn't do this by himself. And that's when they had the little skirmish with everybody on the yard. That's when they rushed me to high power when they said all the rank and file got hit. Then everybody spoke up for me and brought me back down to 48.
So draws, Rockhead leaves. Who pulls your coat and lets you know who this dude is?
Now I found out who he was. I found out who Rockhead was while he was there. Because then they had after we in the day room, they had moved Rockhead to the other side. And then that's why I seen him at court. Because I had so many cases, I was going to court every single day. I was going to court every single. I mean, I was at court so much, man. I fell asleep in the courthouse. That's how I ended up getting the best lawyer I ever met, man. His name was Roger. Not Roger. His name was damn, man. It's stupid. All my
cases. Gonna say Earl Brody, man.
Hell no, man. He died. My lawyer died. I'm tripping. I can't remember his name, but he died. But I met him because I fell asleep in court on one of my cases. I had a hot one, and I fell asleep. And the judge was like, "Man, what the hell you doing falling asleep? You got I'm like, "Man, look, man, I be here every single day. I'm here. I'm at court every single day for one of these cases. If it ain't Inglewood Court for traffic, I'm here for all of these." He made him consolidate all my cases under one lawyer. Dude beat all my cases. Man, I ended up coming home just on probation.
When's the last time you seen Rockhead?
Shit. About a month ago.
You're talking about ICANN and developing options.
Yeah. You know, Rockhead.
Also, Rockhead was up there at Jim Brown's house when you and Keystone and all them.
No. He was in jail. He was doing it. He was doing it.
Again, when I got out, Big U went in.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting at Jim's house, and I'm chilling. And Jim said, "Rock, you know Stone, and Big U." Yeah. I said, "Big U? That little motherfucker was causing shit up in the county jail?" I said, "I don't know Stone, but I know who Big U. I know Big U." And again, when Big U got out and we kind of reconnected, I'm like, "Man, where you been? I heard you been out for a few years." He said, "Rock, man, I told myself I'm gonna walk away, step back, and deal with myself for these 4 to 5 years. And once I get off parole and everything, then I'm gonna make my moves." And the moves he made, I said it before, I'm saying it now, was ridiculously awesome. For him to create development options, for him to get into the music stuff, for him to do the things that he's doing positive in a strong, powerful way, based on his mindset, what he said he's gonna do when he get out of jail. It's hard for us to set plans in jail and say, these are things we're gonna do. But first, I'm gonna beat the system by not doing shit, by not participating in nothing, be a father, be a husband, and stay away. Then as soon as he got out of parole, you saw this dude, like everybody, you goddamn. I mean, I'm like, damn, I know that he wasn't allowed, it kind of threw me off. But for him to educate himself at that level, to prepare himself to who he is today, you don't get it nowhere else. You can't get it any better.
How did you and Stone hook up with Jim Brown?
I had met Jim Brown. I was playing semi-pro football, and one of my partners from Inglewood family, we was all on the same team. We was on a semi-pro team. Me, Lil F Bone, Bronco T, JT, Cobby. We was all playing semi-pro football. I had this black van, and we was playing in Pasadena. And they came and said, "Man, Jim Brown having a meeting, and he want gang members to come up there." I was just a fan of Jim Brown. I was only going just because it was the legendary Jim Brown. So we get up to Jim Brown house, and we were so excited. We still had everything on but our football pants. They gave us some sheets to put down, and they was having a meeting. They was like going around, and Tank Magruder from Compton, a couple of more dudes was in there, and they was all talking. And so they was like, "Yeah, this shit might work because we see y'all got Big U in here. We can go." And I'm like, but I had just cut my hair off and I had a flat top. And so they in there like, and so T. Rogers. Mm-hmm. I knew T. Rogers from having a phone store on Crenshaw and Crenshaw and Slauson.
Whoa. T. Rogers.
T. Rogers. I didn't even know from the jungle.
Had a phone store
on Crenshaw and Slauson, right off of Slauson, by the way, a little a couple of blocks. If it was between 54th and Slauson, we used to go in there and buy phones from him. I had no idea he was T. Rogers. I had no idea he was the blood, none of that. Until we seen him, I seen him again at Jim Brown house. And I'm looking at him, he's like, "Yeah, man, we talking, we chopping it up." Because he don't know I'm Big U either, though. So while they in there talking, They talking about, yeah, man, you know, because at that time it was on with us, and it was on with us in the Compton and on with us in the Greats. So it was like they come on our side, we on them. We go on their side, which we never had to go to Compton. It was kind of like on like that, but not all the way like on like it was us and the gangsters. So when they was looking at me in there, and so Stone and all them is, I mean not Stone, but Jim Brown and T. Risner trying to figure out who was Big U. Like, who was the nigga they keep referencing? And then when it got ready to come to my time to speak, I got up. I'm like, we was finna leave. So T them like, no, let's stay and wait and see. So then I guess T. Risner figured I was Big U. So that's when Jim jumped me. Jim like, oh no. So Jim jumped me. He was like, man, I said, man, I don't call nothing for the 60s, bro. I said, I could bring my big homie up here who speak for us. He tell me what to do, and then I tell the rest of the niggas what to do, and that's what we do it. He was like, well, bring Stone up here, man, whoever. I said, that's the only one nigga I'm gonna listen to, bro. And he know more of this business and his other shit, and that's how Stone got to the tape.
So was this in 91 or 92?
That's before that. No, this was 89. It was 89, yeah. Probably.
That was on that first one before the first.
They didn't even have, it wasn't even incorporated yet.
It was.
Wasn't no books, wasn't no nothing.
Everybody hit the poll. You already know. Salute to everybody that's new. Y'all hit the poll. We got a lot to break down. We're going through a few videos. I got paperwork, all this. We could go through it all. Y'all just do what y'all doing. Drop likes. Hit the comment. Hit the poll.
What up? Come on. Come on. Huh?
On Stone, man. That I mean, he cried.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim loved him some Stone.
Everybody loves Stone.
I want to tap in.
But let me tap into this. This is Andre Sparks. That's another one of our big homies. That's who we looked at. That's who we looked up to.
You mentioned it.
Yeah, that's what I always talk about. Okay. And Drake, come on in there, man. Come on in here. This is who we looked up to. This and Drake just did what? 20? How old he just did? 28. Drake just did 28. Now he can tell you everything about Stone and himself, because I mean, like I said, out of we had niggas that we looked up to over here. And I remember in the last interview I did, dudes was feeling some kind of way because I didn't mention certain dudes, but I can't mention niggas I didn't know. And I ain't heard of certain names we didn't hear about. Really, to be honest with you, I didn't have to hear about them because we already had the niggas we was looking up to. You know what I'm saying? I could walk out the door and look up to a nigga that was older than me that was doing it. That was getting money and already been to the pen and whatever, and was telling us how it should go. You know what I mean? And Dre was the oldest one. Dre was the oldest one on the block. And I mean, really, he could tell you the story of the AG. We was babies. And what you older than Stone or younger than Stone?
That's older.
He older than Stone.
That's Sparks?
Yeah.
Well, what year did you land on Arlington, Sparks?
1963.
Wow. And when you landed, damn.
What was the block like? What was the racial makeup of the block back then?
He had whites on his block.
Predominantly white?
No. It'd be like 6 or 7 at the most.
How old are you?
59.
Do you remember when these kids landed on the block?
Yeah. Definitely.
Did the block change when they landed on the block?
A lot of kids. Him, his cousins, aunts and uncles. Yeah. Yeah. They were a gang themselves. Yeah. It was a team. It was a team. It was a team.
So you kind of remember when the Rollin 60s hit this side of the tracks then, huh?
Of course.
You know what year that was?
I would say 75, 76. That's when it became recognizable.
He could tell you about Kwame, Rennie, when Kwame got hit.
Right there, 1981, June 1981, when Kwame Harris got killed.
In this alley right here.
Right there. Renford Forte got killed October 26, 1980.
That's Rennie.
It's Rennie.
Rennie.
He's too old to be an Arlington hustler.
Who?
This guy.
This nigga Arlington, though.
Honorary Arlington hustler?
No, he's like I told you. Remember I told you we was the young niggas, and then when we got it all the way to the point, them was the niggas we looked up to. Him, like I said, I always say him. Every time I do an interview, I always cite Andre Sparks because he was the oldest dude to me on our block. You know what I mean? I had older cousin Alvin, but Alvin was younger than him, but he was the one in the streets though. You know what I mean? Like if we was gonna have counsel or we had an issue, I ain't gonna catch this nigga walking down the street.
Who were the first 60s on this side of the track, Sparks, that you can remember, that lived in this area around 59th Street School?
I'm not gonna put their names out there.
Put the dead ones out there. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Finish up with my
This dude is militant, bro. Yo, man, he's like, dude, shout out something. He said, nah, bro. I'm not even doing none of that, man. Shout out to that brother, man. Solid, man. You're straight. You don't care about no camera in his face, bro. The man is what he on. You know what I mean? Salute to the bro OGs that's still like that, man. A lot of times we be losing our OGs, bro. Word. And then we got the OGs that's moving around like young G's now. That shit's. So shout out to all the real OGs that's still out here, still holding it down and still dropping some jewels on some young people out here. That ain't old fashioned. That shit is dope. Straight. There's a lot of these young people, some old niggas need some jewels dropped on them. So you know the young people need some jewels. So fact. So salute to all the real OGs, man. Don't give up on the young people, bro. Straight up. When I was young, OGs was coming, stopping by, hollering, yo, son, listen, that's not how you do that. Listen, that's how you treat a girl, man. Look, man, you go help them with their bags, man. You go help an old person. You know what I'm saying? OGs was telling you, pulling you up by your collar like, yo, bro, look, this is what you do. This is how you do that. This is how you handle your handle. You know what I'm saying? So we need to, right now, you can't really talk to young people. You know what I mean? You try to talk to them. Next thing you know, y'all at it. You know what I mean? So salute to all the OGs that's still out here trying to, you know what I mean? Trying to help some young people, man. Salute to that.
again.
You going to Compton? Yeah. You going to have to sign a release for my document.
Right. Get it to me.
She right there. She ain't gonna let you go nowhere. I guarantee you. She ain't gonna let you walk off the block.
All right, my man.
She already get the paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get his years, 87 to 91, leading up to when he catches his case and sends it to prison.
Right. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I just want to finish off Rockhead 48 and then he could get out.
Okay. All right. So we're still on 4800?
4800 is sick.
Big Marcel, Lantana, looking at Grandy's.
Oh yeah, Sale was there. Sale was there. Sale was there. What's the name that got killed with man, what's the name's a wrestler all the time.
Gangster was the trustee.
Gangster was on the other side, yo. Sale was on our side.
Yeah.
Sale was on my side. Big on
South side.
Stone them.
Everybody subscribe. That's not subscribed. Smash the subscribe button.
Corner pocket.
Oh, you corner pocket?
Yeah, that's why you said that. I'm like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jerry Stone. Yeah, right.
Jerry Stone. Jerry Stone. Yeah, Jerry Stone was there. Not Michael wasn't there. Jerry Stone was there. That was my big homie, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I used to wrestle that big old nigga. Like, he was bigger than me. Because I'm 6'3", so Jerry Stone had to be 6'4".
They was all tall. They was 6'4".
Strong as a motherfucker. Man, that nigga used to be out here wrestle all the time, but he had bad feet, though. Remember, he had bad feet. And I used to leave my cell just to go there and say, that nigga love me to death, man. Jerry Stone, man. That was him. I really was cool with all the old niggas, though. Right. You know what I mean? Like him, Jerry. It was about Jerry Stone there at that time. No, Michael Stone wasn't there. It was on the Jerry Stone, Hoover Dog. Marcellus was on the other side, came again. Big Insane from Insane Script was there.
Richard Thornton. Big Insane.
Yeah.
Hey, so look, Draw, you know we interviewed Lil Doc, right? 6'9" East Coast.
Yeah, my nigga.
Yeah. He was in there with you?
Yeah, Doc was there for about 2 years with us. Me, it was out of the young crew was because F-Bone them left. F-Bone, Looney, all the homies who's my age left. So it left me really was fucking with these coaches. So it was really like the roller coaster. Me, Doc, Bub, Sad, Sandman, and then our homies, you know, was kind of like coming and going. But they was there for a long time. Like it was, and then I gauge it because, you know, our homies might come for about 3-4 months, 5-6 months, a year fight a case, but you know, it was certain of us who stayed there like 2 years fighting a bunch of cases. Doc was there. Me and Lil Doc was there for a long time.
Doc said you was in there bailing out East Coast.
Yeah, I bailed out my dogs, man. I bailed out Raton. I bailed Raton out. What his bill was $250,000. I bailed him out. I bailed out like 5 niggas, man. When I came home, I'm like, man, I got you. As soon as I get home, I got you.
Was this off of Minnesota money?
Off Minnesota money, man.
What I am going to say is it's not good. It's not good, bro. It's not good. It's not good. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to change the title on the stream right now while we live. All right. Boom. I like Big U RICO case. Let me see. Let me take off that. Okay. And we're going to add this to the front. All right, cool. So we're going to take that out. We're going to add this in. Salute to everybody that's rocking. You already know the vibes. Yeah. So, yeah, man, like I said, I just wanted to get a little bit of this Big U. I got some other videos that I have that I can get into as well. Other parts of the element of Big U. You got things with developing options, different things that I have too as well that I went and scoured Google. You know what I mean? Straight. I had to go digging in a crate to find some school shit. You know what I mean? And go see some stuff because I do want to understand more about the developing options. I do want to understand more about just everything that these people are alleging, you know what I'm saying, that Big U supposedly has done. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly has done, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it all looks factual in the paper when you're reading papers, but got to prove it, sir. You got to prove it, man. You know what I mean? You got to prove it, bro. So, you know, a lot, I think it's stacked up against him. As far as he goes, it's just a nasty situation, bro. Just a nasty situation. And Luce is in a bad one too as well. You know what I'm saying? Luce is most definitely a bad one too. So don't get him twisted. But yeah, man. I might go through some of this read. Because we have something that's going around online right now, right? Where people are saying that Cuffy Gatling snitched. All right. And as you know, I've been reading all these paperwork in relations to Cuffy Gatling. I've been reading all the paperwork. So if you go on my channel, I've read all like 3 of his co-defendants. Keith Chroma, I went into old cases from Keith Chroma. Keith Chroma also was in investigation with Tammy, which was the OIG report, is why, you know what I'm saying, with Tammy. And that goes into their sexual relationship that they was having for whatever, how many months with Keith Chroma, Tammy Cowens. But now we have some things of people saying that Cuffy's snitching, and people are talking about this waiver of indictment plea, which I've read the waiver of indictment plea on my channel. I think I haven't just read the last couple of pages. So I've read the waiver of indictment plea. But I think that if I read this again to y'all, I think that it will give y'all a little more understanding of what happened in Cuffy's case, on how it transformed from a murder charge to 2 weapons possessions. I think this causes a lot of confusion online where people don't understand how the hell this happened. How you get charged with a duppy, you know what I mean? Or 2 duppies at that. And then it get breaking, and then you get charged with 2 gun charges. I've heard a lot of people come, even in my comments, people have been making comments about that. Like, how did Cuffy get away from having the murder charges from Theodis Morgan and Theodis Howard and Terrence Morgan? Hence, that led us into this. Cuffy Gatling's waiver of indictment and plea before the Honorable Rodney, right? Boom. So I want to read a little bit of this to y'all. You know what I mean? Because you know I'm reading cases. I'm reading this Big U and all of that on my channel too. I've read some of this as well. But you know, I was doing this case and I don't want to leave this case as well. You know what I mean? I'm still on this Cuffy, Meech, and all this stuff like this. I'm still on all this because I still got mad parts of this case that I haven't even dropped yet. I got videos that I haven't even released that I've done 2 weeks ago. Straight Andre Rush, all types of shit. So boom. Dion Gatling. I want y'all to drop likes in the building though. Salute to everybody in the building. Like I said, my link is in the chat. If you want to hit the link and you want to come and ask me a question or talk to me about something real quick, you can come and hop up and come holler at me about something. You know what I mean? So it's nothing. About anything though. Doesn't even matter. Whatever these topics we're talking about, if it's Cuffy, if it's Meech, if it's Luce, if it's whatever. It's whatever. Lift your voice. So boom, right? So we're gonna skip through the fluff of this, all right? So it goes to the proceedings, all right? It starts boom, boom, boom. Then they're gonna go through the court, back and forth from the court to the assistant, the district attorney, whatever. Boom. So they back, boom, good morning. This is the first time he speaks, defending. Good morning. This is Gatling speaking. So this is the plea that he takes right before he waives his indictment that he's being indicted on, all right? And he's about to take a plea, and they're about to go into saying, listen, this is what you've been charged for. What are you pleading guilty to, or whatever the case may be. What they're saying that what is alleged that he's snitching on, or how he's snitching. Well, they're saying that in this plea right here, right, when Cuffy Gatling takes his plea, hold up, let me just come in, right, boom. When Cuffy Gatling takes his plea, they say that he implicates, basically, they're saying that but we don't know if it's true until we get to the end of the paper, right? They're saying that he implicated a guy named Raymond Rambo Jones, and Derek Bubbs Clemens, okay? These are the two people said to be among Andre Rush, which is Cuffy Gatling's co-defendant, which was supposed to be the ones that unalived Theodis Howard and Terrence Morgan, okay? So boom. Theodis was unalived in front of a clinic. He was headed to a clinic, and he was ambushed. He was with his family as well. I think his sister, maybe his niece or something like that. He was with some family members when he was ambushed. I also did the report on Theodis Morgan as well on my channel. And that goes into it was like a news report on it as well as some papers on it. And then the following year after his passing, they had an anniversary of his passing to celebrate it because it was still an unsolved crime in St. Louis. It was the 30th unaliving of that year. Theodis Morgan was the 30th unaliving that year, is what they say. Just me thinking out my head from the paperwork, right? All right. So now they say when this unaliving happens of Theodis Morgan, because they're saying that Theodis Morgan snitched, okay? And he was snitching on Deron Gatling, R.I.P., Wani Magic, who's Cuffy's brother, Deron Gatling. He's alleged to be snitching on him. So they saying that he's unalived because of that. Terrence is unalived because I guess he's conspiring with them. I think he's talking with the people or something like that. But he's also just clipped because just to make sure everything is good. If he have any informations in his phone, wherever the case may be, he got information. So Terrence is clipped in an alley in St. Louis. Boom. Years later. Boom. All right. So that's just going to show you these are the two unalivings that Cuffy ended up being charged with afterwards. We already know that he was caught in the conspiracy with Tammy, but then Tammy also passed CS2 off to Cuffy, introduced him to CS2. In turn, CS2 introduced Cuffy to the undercover agent. The undercover agents are working with Keith Cromer as well. And the undercover agents are the ones that set up the reverse DEA sting that went down in Memphis for Lorenzo Gibbs and Timothy Rush to go pick up the work out there in Memphis. And the undercovers gave Cuffy $110,000 worth of work, which was 2 kilograms of heroin. And they gave him a Cadillac truck. So altogether, this is $160,000 worth of things. Because the cocaine is $55,000 a key. And then the truck is about $50,000. So when they bag Andre Rush, when they bag Timothy Rush and Lorenzo Gibbs, They bagged him when they get to Memphis. They asking him, yo, do you want, the only reason why they was telling him about the truck is because they were saying that the truck had the agents. The guy's acting like he's a regular guy like you and me, but he's an agent. Okay. He's acting like he's a guy that works for the cartel or something like that, but he's an agent. And when Cuffy's mans get bagged, the agent nigga who's acting like a regular nigga like you and me, he ends up hollering at Cuffy like, yo, bro. I mean, I think Cuffy hollered at him, told him that he was bagged or whatever, how it went. But now he's talking to him like, yo, bro, you know you got to pay that back. That's $160,000 to me in debt right here, bro. And this is the Mexican plug he worked for, he's saying, basically. He worked for the cartels, for the cartels. So he like, yo, you got to give me some bread. So Cuffy like, I ain't got it. So he like, all right, cool. You got to give me $5,000 or something, bro. He's like, I ain't got it. So he like, nah, bro. Because they said Cuffy had a car that was a Toyota Camry that was 120,000 miles on it. All right. So he's like, yo, give me a car or something as collateral. You know what I'm saying? You done got my car took. But remember, he's a Fed and his people done took the car. But he not letting Cuffy know that. Because Cuffy already like, yo, man, listen, man. Any amount of work, I can move it. I run St. Louis. I own it. You know what I'm saying? I can move the work. I can move it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, all right, cool. So when they book him for the 2 bricks, now this is how Cuffy says that the Feds basically played them and forced him into this extra deal. Because they already had him to the short and curtilage with the 2 bricks of heroin and the car or whatever. But now when he's talking to the agent and the agent like, yo, son, that's for the cartels work, bro. What you doing, bro? Listen, that's $160K, bro. Niggas need their bread. So now they're like, yo, you ain't got nothing? Nah, you got to do something about this. So they're like, yo, bro, we going to give you some more work. So he like, all right, cool, whatever. So he going to work off the work and get them back their bread. You know, you keep your bread, whatever. Pay the people off. And, you know what I mean? So he like, all right, cool. So they said they was going to give him the 10 bricks. Right. But remember, Cuffy's feeling like he's forced to do this deal with these people now because he already did the deal for the 2 bricks. That went wrong. But now they're talking about they got owed them on $160 Mexicans and all that. All right, man, what? You got the 10 bricks? All right, come, give me the 10. Boom. But at the time when they're giving him the 10, just the day earlier or the same day, the DA were doing a sting on somebody else. So they had 5 extra bricks of cocaine. But remember, the 2 heroin bricks that Timothy Rush and Lorenzo Gibbs went to go pick up was fake work. It's sham cocaine. So they probably never even put their eyes on the drugs. It's fake work. The 10 kilos, and then the 5 extras, the 15 kilograms of cocaine is all sham work. It's all fake cocaine. You probably never see it or probably never put your eye on it. You'll never see it probably. Okay. Because it's a conspiracy. Once I confirm that, yo, listen, I'm going to get it. I'm going to move it. Boom. That's a charge right there. I confirmed that I want to make the deal. Conspiracy. Bang. To possess with intent to. Bang. So they already got me conspired. You see what I'm saying? I'm already in the conspiracy. One time like that. Bang, 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 bang. You see what I'm saying? So this is what Cuffy's saying. Nah, man, the niggas kind of forced my hand with the extra bricks and all that. But look what they do with the fake bricks. Because remember, they're doing the deal with you for fake bricks. But look how they played. So let's say it's the 17 bricks, right? The 2 kilograms of heroin and the 15 or 10 or 15 of the cocaine, right? They take all of the cocaine and all of the drugs, right? And they say this is let's say this is 17 kilograms or whatever the fuck, 17,000 keys, right? Kilograms or whatever the fuck, right? They take the drug weight and they convert it into weed weight. Okay. They convert the drug weight, the total bulk of the drug weight. Remember, invisible drugs, ain't even drugs here. We were just talking about a drug deal. So they're about to take this invisible drugs that we was talking about. Okay. The 15 invisible shits. They're about to take the 16 invisible joints and convert that to weed weight and then charge you right now with 5,000 kilograms of real cocaine. So that's how come when this paperwork, when you start seeing the 5,000 kilograms, the 5 keys, this is the 5 keys because the work that he was supposedly, allegedly supposed to do and to sell and to move, they converted that into the 5,000 kilograms. So boom, right? Good morning, sir. All right, cool. But yeah, let me bring up the paperwork for y'all. My bad, y'all. And I want to bring up the paperwork. And all right, so that we can really see it. Hold on, let me see. I don't know how good y'all see that. Let me see how I see it on my phone. Hold on. That's not bad though. That's not bad. All right, cool. That's not bad. We can do that, right? Because I was just gonna maximize it so y'all can really see it, man. Like this, bang. The hell with that. Some people ain't got good vision. I'm gonna do it like that for right now. Y'all just drop a like for me. Salute to everybody. Y'all drop a like. I know it's late. I haven't slept. I haven't slept in 2 days. I'll be up. But it is what it is. Be outside, real time. Yeah, real dog. So look, so now they're going to it. They just want to make sure that in the beginning process of this, they just want to make sure that Cuffy understands what's going on. You competent. No one's forcing you to do this. You know what I mean? You're doing this on your own volition, your free will, and all these types of things. This is what they're trying to establish with Cuffy. You feel me? So boom. So Mr. Gatling, I'm sure you understand that I'm going to ask you a lot of questions today. If at any time I ask you a question and for whatever reason you're not sure you understand what I'm asking you, will you promise me that you'll tell me that? And I'll repeat or rephrase my question. Is it clear that you understand, that you and I understand each other? Says yes. We're not in a hurry, so they're going to go through the breakdown of this. Defendant in the court goes through the back and forths, right? Now the defendant himself is sworn in, all right? And now they're going to go through asking him the series of questions to state his competency and all of these things, right? Boom. I can't skip through a lot of this because this is fluff, but I just want to start reading it. So when it start getting fluffy, I'll show you. See, look, this is what it's saying the same thing, saying the same thing, saying the same thing, right? So I'll just show you that. All right. So you understand, sir, that you've now been sworn and that your answers to my questions are subject to the penalties of perjury if you do not answer them truthfully. Yes, sir. Okay, the first series of questions I'm going to ask you are to establish that you are competent to make the decisions that you're making today. How old are you? 50 years old. What's the highest level education level? GED. So you didn't have any trouble reading this plea agreement? No, sir. Okay, y'all drop a like on the way and salute to everybody. Right? Do you have a doctor or physician that you see on a regular basis? They're going to go into it. Yes, he did. He was seeing St. Mary's Hospital. He was seeing them because he's actually has chronic illnesses such as sarcoidosis, and he has a family-related illness as asthma. I'm just updating y'all in real time. Boom. Right? So they said, yeah, he's been under care of physicians. Yeah, they don't have a particular one. Boom. They said, okay, so do you have a chronic long-term illness? Okay, he said, what would that be? It's called sarcoidosis. Are you taking any prescription medicines? Okay, prednisone and all these things, right? Boom. Right? You take prednisone, so we ain't got to go into the prednisone, right? We want to know what the hell happened in the plea deal. That's what we want to know. Plea deal. That's what we want to know. Okay, cool. So boom. So I'm just showing y'all though, so you can see this is what they asking them. They just basically getting them up to date. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Just figuring the thing out. Hold up. Let me just. Bang. Slow. All right, cool. So right. So it just shows you, right? Okay, let me see. All right, medicine, alcohol. Look, are you on any alcohol? You know what I mean? Just making sure it's influence any drugs. Boom. You know what I'm saying? They're just asking me 1, 2 things. All right, they say, okay. So they say, does anybody, because they saying he has any doubts to his competency? He said, no, Your Honor. All right, cool. So now this is when the court goes about asking him a series of questions again, but they're also clarifying certain things to make sure that he understands, because when you're doing these plea agreements like this, they want to make sure that you got everything. They don't want nobody appealing nothing. Ain't no appealing, bro. You taking this right now, you waiving your rights right now, and we're not playing. We're not suing. You're not doing that. They about to break all that down to you. We're not doing that, bro. You taking a plea right now. So take your plea and kick rocks. That's what they are. So boom, right? It says, look, I'm going to ask you some questions now. Boom. I can zoom this out, right, Max? Right? Boom. I said, look, he says, I'm going to ask you some questions now, sir, about your right to be indicted, but your decision to consent to the filing of an information. You understand that you have a constitutional right to be charged by an indictment of a grand jury, but you may waive that right and consent to being charged by an information which is filed by the U.S. State's attorney. Yes. You're aware that instead of a grand jury indictment, the felony charges in this case will be brought against you by the United States attorney by a filing of an information. Yes. You understand that if you do not waive indictment, you may not be charged with a felony unless a grand jury finds that there is probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed and that you have committed it. Yes. So you're aware that if you do not waive the indictment by the grand jury, the United States may request the grand jury to indict you. Yes. Okay. This is why you're waiving this right, because they're about to indict you or something like that. So boom. So you're aware that the grand jury is composed of at least 16, but not more than 23 persons and at least 12 jurors, grand jurors, must find that there is probable cause to believe that you committed the crime with which you are charged for before you may be indicted. Yes, sir. Okay, so you understand that if you waive the indictment by the grand jury, the case will proceed against you and the information just as though you had been indicted by the grand jury. Okay, boom. We must read these things. This is why I'm going back to these cases, because why? We're dealing with a federal RICO. You may not understand that. Why? Because that Big U case is new. You don't understand nothing. We still don't understand nothing. We've seen the first little transcript, but until we start getting to the court documents, we will start to understand what this case is really about. We don't know yet. We just seen it. Okay, the breakdown. That's cool. But when we start going to the case, for real, you're going to start hearing things like, yo, what the hell happened? Exactly. People are saving all their guns close to their chest like this. This is what's going on. It's a trial. You know what I mean? So, okay, information indicted by a grand jury. And the court and I have in front of me a written waiver of counsel. Do you know of any reason why Mr. Gatling shouldn't waive his right to be indicted? You know what I'm saying? Well, let me zoom this for y'all. No, I don't, Your Honor. All right, cool. So if it's fluffy, I'll let you know. And you believe that you understand your right to be indicted by the grand jury. Is that correct? That's correct. And you did read the document? Yes. And you went over it? Yes. And she answered, yes. And is that your signature at the top line? Yes. Is it your desire to waive the indictment by the grand jury and have me execute this and consent to the filing of the information? Yes, sir. All right. It is my finding that the waiver of the indictment voluntarily made by Mr. Gatling. Mr. Riley, we want you to explain this to Mr. Gatling, whatever the case may be, his representations. He said, yes, Your Honor. And just to supplement the record, I'll explain the charges and the information. The information, the third, what we'll refer to as the third superseding criminal investigation in this case, operates to Mr. Gatling's benefit. Okay, so look, he's starting already right here. They said, what we'll refer to as the third superseding criminal investigation in this case, the third one is what they're talking to about, right? Operates to Mr. Gatling's benefit. Okay, so this is going to be one of like three times or so that they're going to say that this plea is in Mr. Gatling's benefit. Okay, that don't mean that he snitched up. They want him to plead guilty. That's called speedy trial. They didn't help them with the leniency. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. They will do this. They want Cuffy to. They will work. They'll make something happen for you. Trust me. They'll make something happen for you. And your man about to take 25. You about to take 27 anyway. So it's not like we lost. It's okay. So boom, right? That's how they think about us. This is what allows him to plead guilty in a way which he's not facing a mandatory life sentence, were he to plead guilty as this were previously charged or convicted at trial. It is what allows for the disposition in this case and the parties to make the recommendation that we're going to make to the court, and the plea agreement has been agreed to by all the parties. So specifically under the first superseding indictment, the indictment was charged in count 6 with a violation of 15 through 18 United States codes. They go to the sections, boom, in relation to the unaliving of Theotis as retaliation for his previous cooperations. The defendant was also charged in the count 9 of the superseding indictment with the violation of Title 18. In relation to the unaliving of Terrence Morgan to prevent him from communicating with federal investigators or federal law enforcement authorities, both of those were punishable by mandatory life. So he was going to get a mandatory life just for the two Duffies, right? Usually, right? You didn't unalive 2 people, or you had something to do with it, right? So he says the effect of this criminal information is to, among other things, is to allow the defendant and plead guilty. No, that allow the defendant to plead guilty to a single violation of 18, in which both of the unalivings of Theotis and Terrence Morgan was referenced in the one single violation. Okay, so you see how that happened already. Is going right. They took the 2 bodies and collapsed them into one. Okay. They took the 2 strap charges, the 924J and the 924C, and also collapsed them into one. Okay. As they see, is one violation of 18, Title 18 in the States Code, which is Section 924J, as you can see on your screen. Okay, so this is how this is going from a death penalty charge and all this other stuff. It went from a drug conspiracy to a death conspiracy to back to that off the table, and now it's just a conspiracy again. Yeah. Hold up, let me check outside. Dirty, y'all. Oh no. Everybody drop a like.
All my niggas from the Uda, all my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rap, all my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been this way, you been stuck in a computer.
This really ain't the time to read to y'all though, bro. Yeah, I'm not active. You know what I mean? I'm reading right now. You know what time it is right now? You know what time is it? I haven't even slept. You understand that? Half of the people you watch can't read. Do you understand that? I dropped out of school when I was damn near in 8th grade. I read very well, right? I taught myself that shit. I'm a young black man and I taught myself that shit because I was out in the street selling crack and toting guns. Learn how to drop a like next time when I'm doing that. Because I'm reading to you so that you can know it. I already know this paperwork in my head. I'm trying to help some of you to understand it so you don't have to run around making a fool of yourself, saying shit that you don't even understand, calling people shit that you don't even understand, doing shit that you don't even understand. You need the information so that you can know. So you can apply this information to whatever thought you think. That's how it works. So once you get the real information, you can say, okay, cool. Now I think this, or now you think that, or maybe that strengthens what you think. But at least you got the work and at least you got the facts out. And I don't do it like some of these people like a Sean G and read you 2 damn pieces of paper and fluff your ass for 4 hours, which I can do to you because I'm very eloquent with speaking. You got to learn how to show love, man. Y'all got to learn how to show love, bro. On Bloods and Crips, nigga, on God and Jesus, on any comparison of any 2 things. What? On the devil and who? Some. You got to learn how to show love, bro. Especially when niggas is reading. Half niggas can't read online. Reading rainbow, I can't do anything. Yes, niggas can't read, bro. And you up their ass liking some shit.
All my niggas turn shooters. All my